Hello and welcome to all my Mobile DocForm users. Today we'll be talking about labels. Specifically, we'll be talking about how to create a label, how to edit a label, and how to delete a label. Labels are very important to Mobile DocForm. Label is how you use, labels are what you use, to tie specific users and groups to a specific Mobile Doc form. For example, let's say you had a user that's a salesperson or a group of users that are salespeople. You can use labels to then tie specific Mobile Doc forms related to salespeople to that group or users. So let's get into it. The very first thing we're going to do here is log in. From the login screen, from the dashboard screen, what we're going to do here is we're going to click on labels. Here you can see I only have 3 labels. To create a label is very straightforward. You click create label. You give your label a name. So I'll call this label video, right? You give your label a description, and that's it. You click save, and you just created a label. Now, to edit this label, you can go to the label that you want to edit. You click edit, and you can update. Let's say you made a mistake here. Another description. You hit update, and that's it. It'll update. Now, finally, let's say you want to delete. To delete a label, you click delete. It's going to ask you if you really want to delete the label. You click yes, and that's it. Now, labels are very, very simple, very easy to create, but labels also control what users can see what specific mobile doc form. So for example, in a prior video, we were looking at the Got Camps mobile doc form. So if we look at here, I'm going to click on form management, go back to my forms, and I'm going to look specifically at this Got Camp. And actually, before I do anything, what I'm going to do is look to see what labels are currently applied to this form. So if you look at the Got Camps form and you click on labels, you can see that it has the label simple. So if I close here, what I can do is I can actually remove that label from that form. So I'm going to click simple. I want to remove it. So what I just did was I removed the label simple from the form. It reloaded. So you can see here that there are no labels applied, no users have the form, and no groups. So if you click through, you're going to see the same thing I just told you, right? Now, if you go over to users, you can find out what users actually have that label. So I can, right now, I know for a fact that this user, my email, is currently a part of the simple label. So if you go to label, you see simple has been applied to that user. So you can apply labels to different users and different forms. So now if I log in as my email, which I'm about to in a second, you will see I no longer have access to the Got Camps form. And that's a way for you to control different mobile doc forms on mobile doc form itself or on a tablet. So let's look at it. So I am going to go to mobile doc form. and I'm going to log in as my email. So then once you log in, you went straight to the dashboard. I'm going to click on form management, forms, and as you can see, it's gone. That form is currently gone because I removed the label from the form. So even if the form is published and you needed a way to control who has access to the form, that is how you do it. You apply labels to the form, to the mobile doc form, and that prevents specific users from either getting to the form or actually seeing the form. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to log out, and I am going to go back to form management, forms, and I'm going to find the got forms again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reapply that label. So I want to apply this, the simple. You hit apply. It's processing. It takes a second. Once it's finished, you can click additional information. Once it loads, you're going to see that you have one label, one group that's been applied to it. If you want to see which group, you can click user group. You have a simple group. Okay, which users are going to see it? Jamal Goddard will see it. Josiah Goddard will see it. And my email will see it. So if I close here and I log in again as that individual, my email, that user. So once you log in, form management, forms, there you go. Now I can see it again and I can see all the submissions. So that is how you effectively use labels, and now you can see the power of labels. I don't have to apply a label to a specific user. I can apply a label to a group of people. So let's say right now I have, if you look here and you go to users, you're going to see that I have, if you look at additional info, you can see what labels have been applied to this user. The label simple has been applied to this user. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove simple from this user. So I'm going to hit remove from label. I'm going to remove simple. And what that's going to do is that is going to remove simple from that, remove that label from simple. As you can see, it just happened there. Now the form will be gone. So just by removing that label from me, that tells you that that simple label was applied to all three forms that you saw prior. You also know that removing it removes it from the user. But what I can do is, let's say I don't want to apply the label to a specific user, but I want to put that user in a specific group. So you can imagine, again, salespeople. Let's say you have a group called salespeople. You can create a group and you can apply that label to the group. So labels can be applied again to users and groups. So here it is. I know for a fact that this simple group already has the label simple applied to it. So if I look at simple, there it is. I can see the users that are in the group, which is I'm the only user. What I'll do is I'll edit this group. What I'm going to do now is I want this person to also be a part of the group. So I hit update. It saves. Click additional information. Now you have 2 users, 5 forms. So there it is. So these users can see the following forms, and you can see the got form is one of the forms that the users within this group can see. So now what I'll do is I'm going to go back here. I don't think a simple refresh will work, but let's try it out. I think I have to log out and log back in. Oh, refresh works perfect. I don't have to log out, log in. And that's great. So what that means is if you published the form but you weren't ready for the user to see it, you can just remove the label and it'll instantly remove it, which is great. So now I can see the got forms again. So that just shows you the power of labels. Labels are very simple. Again, you can create a label. You can then apply that label to a user or specific group, and you can apply that label to specific forms. And what that does again is control the forms, control who has access to the forms. And that's it. Hope you found this video very helpful, and thank you for using Mobile DocForm.